Arya. That was a very nice practice of meditation. As I said, this is just a demo. Actually, you need to practice it for much longer and every day in the morning and evening so that it becomes a part of your life. The time that we invest in meditation is going to be recouped by peace of mind, better efficiency at work, and you being in better control of yourself. With this, I move to the next part of this discussion. But while we get into discussion, we are not going into the slides that we have got today. Could you just stick to the 149 foundation of Arya Samaj? Yeah, so as I said, I will share with you what's special about today. So on 22nd of March, we are celebrating the 149th anniversary of the foundation of Arya Samaj. How much? 149. So this is the time when the grandparents of our grandparents were alive. Right? So many years back. Yeah, I also said that this is the soul of DAB. So I will clarify what is the link between DAB and Arya Samaj. Anyone over here who knows this link? Now I am not talking about the Arya Samaj members. Anyone, those who have come here the first time. Let me share this. DAB as a movement started in 1886. Swami Dayanand had expired, and after he had said to his followers that after he expires there should not be anything that should be constructed as a samadhi for him. The reason was, he was saying, he believed that the matter disposes off into nature. What's the purpose of a samadhi? And once you put a samadhi, you end up putting flowers over there, go and go to the samadhi. Fundamentally, that's wrong. Even today when we go to a samadhi and we put flowers, go to that samadhi, actually nothing of that person is there. Actually nothing is there. It's a set of bricks, a memorial, and we offer flowers. Nothing is teaching him. He doesn't even know. We may have respect in our heart, but that respect remains in our heart. Right? There is no point in going there and doing all that. Anyway, I am not getting into that. Fundamentally, his followers came together and they said, we need to still remember the Swamiji. And this was the living memorial they founded. What is it? The DAB school. But the DAB school was also founded with a vengeance. Vengeance to teach not just the modern education but the ideals of nationalism amongst our children. Why did the need arise? This was the decades, the dark decades following the 1857 War of Independence, when we were completely subjugated. And during this period of subjugation, the Britishers were establishing institutions. They were killing the indigenous institutions and establishing the institutions that would support the British rule. One of those was the English education system, the schools. And through these schools, they were expecting, the target was, they would impart modern education, but their intent was not the benefit of the Indian society, but it was to help them get educated clerks through whom they can govern this vast country. So with this being the intent, the call for Swadeshi was not made in 1920. The call for Swadeshi was made in the 1880s by the followers of Swami Dayanand when they founded institutions like DAB. One other institution, many others were founded, but one other that stands tall is the Punjab National Bank, which was where they said the money of Indians should be going in, not in the banks established by the British. I can keep going on, but these followers of Swami Dayanand were the members of Arya Samaj. Because Swami Dayanand in 1875 had organized his followers and created the Arya Samaj to say, carry forward the movement that I stand for, and therefore these members of Arya Samaj ended up founding DAB and many other such institutions. I am not getting to that. And therefore the soul of the DAV movement is Arya Samaj. So when we talk about the 149th year of Arya Samaj, in some ways it's also a celebration of the DAV movement. Now going back, why did the need arise for Arya Samaj? First of all, we have to understand those ages were very different from the ages today. Our grandfathers' times and the decades that we were passing through were the darkest decades of our history. Why were they the darkest decades? First of all, we were not ruling ourselves, we were being subjugated. Subjugated by whom? First by the Mughals for a very long time and then by the British for a very long time. Any resistance had been met and brutally suppressed, not suppressed. Right? Thousands and thousands, and thousands would be an understatement. It would be millions of lives that lost. Directly due to the violence and indirectly due to the violence that was subjugated to their policies. Large parts of our population, when I say large parts, the phenomenal majority was illiterate. The country that had attracted, the richness of the country that had attracted predators from all over the world was passing through the most impoverished time. All kinds of famine were there in different parts of the country, right? And the quality of life, there was no quality, there was very little life in the society. So during that time, a whole set of reform movements had started. We know about Arya Samaj, we have heard it or talked about it or read about it in the history books. We also know about the Brahmo Samaj and other such movements. But Arya Samaj stood out with a difference. The difference was that it wasn't a movement just against the British. It is said that the gross minds tackle the effect, but subtle minds tackle the impact. Gross minds tackle the effect. Subtle minds tackle the cause. The cause and effect. So the cause of all this subjugation. And imagine if today, and I said this earlier as well at many forums, maybe you have already heard it. If Russia finds it so difficult to invade and stay in Ukraine, US finds it difficult to take Afghanistan, China doesn't go and attack Taiwan, though it's a much smaller country, how on earth would British, with thousands of miles away, a small nation, what is the size of India? Maybe equal to Tamil Nadu plus, right? Having walked out from that place, come over here, and a few hundred or thousand Britishers control this entire country not for 5, 7, 10 years, but 250, 300 years. It was our own weakness. So let's tackle that weakness. So that was the cause. That was being tackled. So at 5 levels this cause was tackled. First level was individual upliftment. Unless we uplift ourselves, we can't uplift our family, our society. How do we uplift ourselves? Our relationship with God should redefine. Which meant it redefined the existing assumptions around God. But it didn't create anything new. Let me be clear. Arya Samaj is not a new religious movement. It simply said, let's go back to the Vedas and understand what is the concept of God that is given over there. And that is the concept of God which in turn redefined our relationship with Him. Which meant that God is formless, God is all-pervading, God is responsible for the creation of everything around us. Now these are the 22 qualities of God that have been given in the second principles of Arya Samaj, and this understanding of this meant our relationship with God got redefined and also our objective in life got redefined. I am not getting into the details of that, but if you would be interested in knowing more about it, you are invited to join us and come regularly to the Samaj. Moving to the next one, family. To redefine the family relationships. One example, Shraddha, to be done post death after a person is expired. No. The Shraddha has to be done when they are alive, and when they are alive, they need to be served. One of the 5 yajnas is the Pitar Yajna, which means we have to serve our elders. Now this service to elders, service to parents, grandparents was clearly laid out as a fundamental principle that everyone has to follow. Everyone, not just Brahmins, not just a particular caste, everyone. Which meant that the Poonal, the thread ceremony, was open to everyone. Nowhere in the Vedas is it given that the thread ceremony only has to be done of the Brahmins. What is a thread ceremony? I was asking the other day from a few people, they wear those threads but they don't understand what the thread ceremony is for. The three threads represent the three obligations to the mother, the father and the rishis or the teachers. So it said every person, man as well as woman, has got a duty to wear the thread because they carry the duty towards the parents and the rishis. Therefore, the relationship in the family got redefined. Society, it said education is open to all. Education that day or in those times only meant the education of the scriptures and only open to the male and to the Brahmins. No, education is open to all. Women can read it, non-Brahmins can read it, and in fact it redefined the caste system, and it's not redefined the caste system out of its own will. It went back once again to the Vedas and said, where in the Vedas is it said that the son of a Brahmin has to be a Brahmin, son of a Vaishya has to be a Vaishya. It said it's as per the occupation the person chooses. Therefore the right to education has to be common to everyone. Because unless if you deny education to a child at a younger age, he is not left with a choice to choose his profession, right? So therefore you give education to everyone, and once he attains an age where he can exercise a choice and an understanding, and he is empowered. Let him exercise the choice, and that choice will determine the caste that he is in. As a result, it redefined the relationships in the society, and these relationships was absolutely critical for the unity of the country, because the presumptions of birth-based caste system had divided the society phenomenally over the last so many millennials and had therefore made us weak. Coming to the nation, it said, Swami Dayananda in his book Satyat Prakash wrote, and when Swami Dayananda wrote this, let's understand that was the darkest period, right? Today, reading that would mean it's fun because you already are free. But in those periods when this would have been seen as treason, he wrote that self-rule is better than any rule. How much better it might be by way of benefits and fringes. And he openly declared that we need to get independence. Later on, the independence movement picked up steam in the 1900s, but the roots of that were laid out in the 1800s, in the late 19th century, and a large part of those who fought in the freedom struggle actually came from Arya Samaj and the education institutions that have been founded and run by Arya Samaj. That is history, I am not getting into that. Coming to the world, India is holding the G20 presidency now, and G20 is being organized. What is the theme of G20? Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Where does it come from? It comes from the Vedas. So Swami Dayananda said, go back to the Vedas. He never said, go back to Hinduism. Go back to the Vedas, understand what is it. The principles of Vedas are universal in nature. And therefore the Vasudeva Kutumbakam as a concept was propounded or rather supported by the work of Arya Samaj. Now at this note, I pause here. The call for action is that now that you are here for the first time, of course, some of you are here the first time, many of you are curious about what this is all about. The call for action is understand. It's not a new religion, it is a movement. The purpose of this movement is not being served fully. It cannot be. Because if it talks about individual, family, society, national and global upliftment, that purpose is much larger than any of our lifetimes. So join this purpose, join this movement after you understand it. Membership is outside. There is a membership drive going on. I invite all of you to be joining this. So with this was a brief introduction of the Samaj and a very, very warm welcome once again to all of you. Now on this note of a warm welcome, I would also like to, can you move on? Invite Deepak Ulji. He has come from Cote d'Ivoire. Any guesses where Cote d'Ivoire is? There है? Well, it's in Uttarakhand. And I would invite, indicated it will take 5-7 more minutes for the breakfast to be ready. So I also invite him. What has been his inspiration of joining the Samaj? Now, there is a difference between him and me. I have been coming here because my parents had been coming here. And my parents had been coming because their parents had been coming. So at some point in time, my grandparents had taken a call to understand and follow the Arya Samaj, and the time at which they took this call, they met with a lot of resistance within their own family, not even outside. Outside there was resistance. But within the family there was the biggest resistance. How can you go to this kind of an institution? What are you doing? Becoming an atheist. Because we are asking questions here and we are answering those questions. So therefore, it required a lot of courage on their part to have taken the move, and we benefited from that. Now he is one who actually is moved into the Arya Samaj in the last 10 years. So he is here today as a guest, but he will also share what was his inspiration of making this move, all of us.